In the book of Deuteronomy, one of the most morbid and perhaps sacred commandments is for people to bury the remains of a murdered fellow Jew within 24 hours of his or her death, lest they be cursed in the eyes of God. In Israel, there is a select group of primarily Orthodox and ultra-Orthodox men who volunteer to undertake this commandment in the direst and most macabre of circumstances. Be the first to know. Join our Facebook page. Function, D, S, ID, var JS, fjs equal D get elements tag name, S, 0, if, D get element bid, ID, return, JS equal D createlment, S, JS.id equal ID, JSSRC equal / connect facebook.net/n_us/all JS number XFBML equal 1 and app ID equal 1634148068997, FJS parent node insert before, JS, FJS, document, script, Facebook JS SDK, wearing yarmulkes, fluorescent yellow vests, and occasionally hazmat suits. They are easily identifiable at the scenes of deadly terrorist attacks as they gather the remains of victims, including soaking their blood in paper towels for a proper Jewish burial. They are members of the Zaka Rescue and Recovery Organization, founded in 1995 by Yehuda Meshizahov as a civilian volunteer organization, with the sole responsibility of responding to incidents of sudden death. Today, over 3,000 volunteers are on call 24/7 to immediately respond to any terror attack, disaster, accident, or search and rescue operation across the country. Roughly 2,000 of these men deal exclusively with unnatural deaths, frequently under extremely violent pretexts. David Rose, International Director of Zaka and a veteran volunteer, is among them. On Tuesday, Rose shed rare light on why men volunteer for the organization, as well as the psychological trauma caused by what is undeniably one of the most disturbing vocations in the world. A person is created in the image of God, so he or she needs to be dealt with in a sacred way, explained Rose. In Jewish belief, the person is brought whole into the world, and therefore should be brought back whole in burial, and their blood is considered part of their souls. To this end, Zaka volunteers, including over 1,000 in 35 countries, learn body identification in accordance with the latest professional verification techniques and Jewish law to avoid any halachic uncertainty and unnecessary distress to family members. 99% of them have regular day jobs, but as soon as they get a message on their beeper or WhatsApp, they drop everything to help, Rosen said. Every city has a team, and we average 150 people a month who die nationally by accidents, suicide, murder, or terrorist attacks. The largest team of volunteers, he noted, is based in Jerusalem, where a disproportionate number of terrorist attacks take place amid a shaky status quo between Jews and Arabs. Zaka and other first responders, such as Magen David Adom and United Hatzalah, are the only organizations trained and authorized by the Israel police to handle any incident of sudden death. However, in addition to dealing with the disasters themselves, Rosen said Zaka workers must also endure an acute psychological trauma few could withstand, let alone voluntarily immerse themselves in. The volunteers require great emotional strength and power as they deal with the intensive work associated with disaster, including informing the families whose dear ones have been killed or wounded, identifying the bodies, and accompanying the families in their difficult hours. He said the very nature of their work exposes the volunteers to such traumatic scenes that only a select few can cope with. Indeed, an excerpt from the diary of an unidentified Zaka volunteer following Jerusalem's 2015 Armin Hanitziv murders, where 2 Arab terrorists boarded an egged bus and shot and stabbed 3 Jewish men to death, illustrates the complex compartmentalization process. We are accustomed to the difficult experience of handling the dead and the murdered, the man wrote. We deeply absorb the grief and the pain we take in the tragedy in which we find ourselves.